Hi, I am Lena E, and I said I was going to do a part two to my last video when I was talking about my life. If you have not looked at that, this is a little recap of part one. I wanted to stop it right there. I didn't want to give a full recap, but you can go back and watch it. That guy, when I said he beat all the good out of me, I'm talking about like I already didn't have a good foundation to start with. So when I met him, that added on to what was already happening. He was, like I said, well, not like I said, but as I had written on the notes, that he was very, very abusive, and he like tore down my self-esteem even more. And yes, at that point I was 15 and he was 21, and like I said, if you go back, you'll know the gist of it. But yeah, this is the part two to that. So I wanted to kind of speak about this part because, like I said, my mission is to help women and girls to not fall into the same things that I had fallen into back then. At the same token, yes, I fell into it because I was set up by my parents. Like, go read my book, A Woman Too Soon by A Woman Too Soon lyric story by me. So you'll get a lot of what happened during that time. But yeah, so at the age of 15 is when I had my daughter. I had her early, and she lived for 2 weeks. She was born September the 7th, and she passed September 21st. So she lived for 2 weeks, and she passed. She was born too early, and I used to go to see her at CHKD, and she was in the ICU, and yeah, that was pretty rough. But during that time when she was in the ICU, her father, like I said, he was very abusive. During that time, I don't know what the reason was that we were arguing, but I think it was because a guy had looked at me or whatever. But I was walking towards the backyard, and he punched me in the back of my head so hard. I'm talking about he drew back his fist and punched me so hard in the back of my head, and I grabbed the back of my head, and he was like, well, I hope they cremate the little bitch. Yeah, he was very cruel. So I wanted you all to see, because there, you can talk about things, but this is all that I have of her, left of her here. And her picture is, of course, upstairs, but this was her little hat. And this is her dress. So this was in 1997. So I've had it since then. And this is all that I have. Of course, you can see the stains and stuff like that, because they had all these tubes and stuff hooked up to her. But yeah, so in the book I do go into that I did find out I was pregnant. And but yeah, this is the baby I was speaking about in the book. And at the time when she passed, at the time, we had the hospital let us know, and we had time to go up there. It was a whole ordeal with that as well. The hospital let us spend time with her, and I'll never forget, the look. I was just holding her. She was like a little doll. Like, she can fit in the palm of my hand. She was like a little doll. And I don't know what made me do it, but I lifted up her eyelids, and they were, of course, gray because she was already gone, of course. And after I'm sitting there with her, and I'm 15 at the time, so everything is not registering. But I knew it hurt that, you know, my daughter was gone. And then like a little bit after that, I would see women like in their 20s, mind you, I'm 15. I would see women in their 20s and saying, oh my gosh, your baby just died. And, you know, you're not crying, you're not acting like it. So the particular guy that I had the kid with, she was walking around up and down because, yes, I was living in the project. She was like, oh, her baby died, y'all. I mean, bragging, talking about, oh, her baby died. She died. Yeah, she dead. And her cousin, who was pregnant at that time, this is how karma works. Her cousin who was pregnant at that time, walking with her, like telling everybody, oh, the baby died, and, you know, like bragging, joking about it, saying, you know, like as if that's what I get. You're mad at him, but you're taking it out on me. Mind you, I'm 15. Like, I met him when I was 14. I was set up with him when I was 14. So that cousin, her baby didn't make it. So leave people alone. Anyway, but yeah, so we get to me trying to get back in school, because like I said, in the past that I only completed the 8th grade, and I was trying to get back in school. At that time, I was in the 9th grade. I only spent 1 week in the 9th grade because I went into labor. So we was trying to get me back in school. The counselors and everything, they was trying to help out, but my mom, she wasn't as supportive. So by the time I was ready to go back ahead, I was forced to get a GED. And then it was time for her funeral, my daughter's funeral. My mom was like making it like she was so tired because she was cleaning this up and cleaning that up, which my house was the trap house. It was never really clean. So she was acting like, oh, I was so tired from cleaning this up, cleaning that up, and like in front of this counselors and everything. She was like nodding off because she was high on dope. My dad was nowhere to be found. He was always either in rehab or on drugs. So yeah, that was that. And so the lady was looking at her, and she was like, I'm talking about, she was nodding, and she was like, oh yeah, you know, the funeral, I'm just so tired. And then at the funeral, when my daughter when we had the wake, the lady who was bragging about my daughter dying, she goes to the wake. And I mean, I wasn't there at the time, but she signs her name and she signs her daughter's name to be funny. So fast forward, I'll say to maybe 5-6 years ago, I believe, I don't know. But yeah, turns out that that's not his daughter. Leave people alone. So when we went down for child support, this, like I said, it was 5-6 years ago, we went down for child support. And the lady was like, well, did you want a blood test? And mind you, she had the kid right there with her. She was like, oh, did you hear that? He want a blood test. He's saying he's not your daddy. And then after that, the lady asked him, did he want a blood test for my daughters? And I looked at him. I was a virgin. He was the first person that I slept with voluntarily. And that was even manipulated. So let's put that out there. He was the first man that I was with. So yeah, I wish he would have. So he was like, oh no, I don't need a test for them. But yes, so yeah, I just wanted to get that little part out. The part 3 might be just the little note cards again. But yeah, I just wanted to get that little part out. But yep, that's my baby. She lived for 2 weeks and she passed. So thank y'all for your time. I'm going to continue to do what I need to do to help us all. You all have an amazing day.